weren't my edits intriguing though, I am making YouTube the next reality TV. Here I am, exposed. I hope that in revealing myself to you this way that I can help inspire others to maybe think a little differently about things and feel a little more ease and excitement in their lives. I want to talk about filming this first of all. I've been thinking about it for quite a few days and pondering if I should do it or when I should start, what should I say, and I realized I was pretty nervous to do it. I think a huge fear of everyone's, including mine, is what are other people gonna think? Am I going to be accepted? Is no one gonna watch this? Am I gonna look stupid? Like, you know, that's the worst, to put yourself out there and then like nobody cares. Everybody can relate to the feeling of vulnerability, and it's kind of a scary feeling. We are worried about how other people will perceive us. Everybody has something, you know, nobody is perfect. Something that they've got to overcome, a reason for expansion in this life, because that is the purpose of life. Childhood beliefs that we've held, that is where pretty much everyone's problems stem from. So for me, I grew up not knowing my dad. As a child, I never felt like sad about it. I didn't wonder about it. I didn't feel like I thought that that was like a reason for any of my negative emotion ever. Like people would react like, they'd be like asking something about my dad and I would be like, oh, I don't know him, and they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, and I'd be like, oh, like it's okay, like it's not dead or anything. Like I don't know, like I didn't know what I was missing because that wasn't in my life. Now looking back, certain things affect you, and like I said, they're all meant to happen. I wouldn't be here now without that. But certain things affect you on a subconscious level, and you have to be brave enough to recognize that those things are the reason for your negative self-belief. I felt like I wasn't a cool kid. I felt like I was kind of fat and ugly, and I didn't feel like anybody really liked me, and I felt left out. And like I remember it just being a really negative feeling, and I was really little feeling this way, and I had no idea where it stemmed from. I've always had this kind of like unloved, unworthy like emotion that I carry, and then of course by law of attraction, like people are not nice to people who don't think that anyone likes them, you know. But it's also like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you assume that everyone is going to love you, then they do. So at this point in my life, I now know that everybody loves me, but I carried that, and in feeling that way, you attract that into your life. So then it will continue to repeat until you are able to recognize where that's stemming from, what energy you're giving out that is attracting that, and let go of that. I've come to realize that now as an adult, that that is just like a childhood belief that I had, and it's not true. And you know, source energy knows that we are infinite, divine, godly beings and loves us unconditionally, and I don't have to feel that. So I think everyone kind of has that moment where they're comparing themselves to someone else, and they're like, oh, you know, all these other people on Instagram are so healthy, they have six packs, and they're so spiritual, and they're so happy, and like I don't have that, or like, you know, I'm not traveling all over the world, or I don't have millions of dollars, like I'm not enough. And it feels bad because source energy doesn't agree with us. We're not in alignment about that with source energy. Source energy knows that we are enough, and that we can achieve or reach those goals, and that we can attract any of our desires, because we are of the godly, infinite, divine power. By recognizing where that energy was stemming from and why I was manifesting what I am manifesting into my life, it made me recognize that I am good enough exactly the way I am. And I don't need to be any certain way to please anybody else, because that's not in alignment. That is not what we are here to do. We are here to be gloriously, deliciously, so true to ourselves. And I will admit, I'm a selfish person. I love to give me everything. I actually purposefully have made a point of not, like, I'm trying not to post too much about how much I like my life, because I don't want to offend anybody else. That is wrong. I don't want to make anybody feel unworthy or insecure or jealous or anything like that. But I do want to inspire people and show them that, like, everybody has their own expansion that they need to go through in order to vibrate on the same level of their desires. And I want to show you guys, like, you can do it. I want to help other people feel happy by sharing the true me and real life situations. I know that anytime that I have ever opened up to anybody about my personal life and emotions, they have absolutely adored me for it. Like, I have the closest, like, best relationships with people, and I have the pleasure of other people opening up to me all the time, and often about things that I can help them feel better about, which is, like, the best feeling ever. I think as humans, we crave real and deep and vulnerable connection with others. I actually like the challenge of looking my fears in the face, because there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So I think that posting my insecurities and vulnerabilities for the world will actually help me release them, and hopefully in turn help you guys see how I've worked through them. And you know, I just want to share real personal human stuff with you, because there's not a lot of that on the internet these days. We just see the perfection, not the humanistic emotion behind the person. It's not as inspiring if you can't see the human side of this perfect Instagram model person, right? Like, you might see people traveling all over or being really pretty, really skinny, good at makeup, like whatever, and you're like, oh, I don't have that. Like, you don't. But if you can see that they came from somewhere that you came from, or they've been through their own trauma, or they've had their own, like, insecurities, you know, if you can watch that and watch them flourish from that, you start to appreciate the person. You start to understand where they're coming from and see things how they see things, and sometimes that can help you. I'm not gonna lie, there are sometimes when I see people and I'm like, I'm intimidated, like, and intimidated is not a good feeling. The only reason that intimidated is a bad feeling is because when we feel that way, we're not in alignment with source energy. Our source energy knows that we are worthy of everything that we desire. I was watching a Russ interview the other day, and I freaking adore him. Like, it's because his music is about law of attraction. It's about manifesting. It's about feeling good and believing in yourself. And that is what you need to do in order to manifest your desires. I know that I can help other people feel good, and I'm meant to be doing this. And you know what? I'm good at makeup and I dress cute, and I am a good friend. I'm a good daughter. I'm a good mom. Like, I'm actually pretty cool. Okay? It's all right to admit that. I'm actually this I love me. I love hanging out with me more than anybody else. I do the coolest, funnest things, like, and I want you to feel that way about yourself, because you are the best you. Like, nobody else can ever be you better than you. You're doing it. You're doing it right. I want you to know that nobody's perfect, and you are perfectly you, as you are, exactly as you are meant to be here and now, and nobody else can ever be that. And that's all that matters. You shouldn't ever be comparing yourself to anyone else. And that is my talk on that. Next episode is going to be the first boy that I had a crush on. I've got a good one for you guys. I'm going to talk a lot about men. It's been my struggle. It's been a lot of the expansion that I've experienced, as I'm sure it has for many other people. Dating, relationships, it's a big part of life. So get ready for the next episode, and I'll see you guys there. Bye. Oh no, I gotta start over. I have to start it. I can't even talk. A lot of you don't want me to be perfect. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm Slim Shady, yes I'm the real Shady. I have decided. Won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up.